Sleeves and Searching, episode 2, part 2 of 2. Hope you enjoyed Jaron's journey through the first video. Now we're going to jump into mine. So, let's watch. So yeah, without further ado, here is the second part of episode 2. Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, so basically my experience was a 6-month process. So I had started right before my birthday in January. I had gone to a bariatric seminar with a surgeon, and he's a great, funny dude. After that seminar, you had a sign up sheet. We signed up for like our consultation. They hit us up and let us know like when we could come in for it. My consultation wasn't until Valentine's Day 2017, and I went in there, paid about $300 up front just for a consultation, and after that started the whole I had to go to a cardiologist, I had to do radiologist, I had to do psychologist, go to a couple support groups. I had to lose a certain amount of weight too. I think I had to lose about 20 pounds, I believe.
Yeah. They had said that to us too, but it wasn't like you have to. It was like a suggestion.
Yeah, they
try to lose weight, but
they basically wanted to see that I was serious enough to like actually lose weight on my own too.
Yeah.
I guess they just didn't want me like putting on more weight. And it's funny too. I just want to mention this though, but like summer 2016, I know it's memed everywhere, but summer 2016 was the poppin' summer. Pokemon Go came out, and just on that game, I lost 20 pounds walking around.
Dude, I lost so much more weight, and that was after my surgery. Like,
yeah, and that was after your surgery, so you lost even more weight that year. But for me, I was at 378. I remembered weighing myself before that summer because that was when I had the scare and had to get like blood pressure medication. And then at the end of the summer, I was at like 355. So I know when I weighed in for the consultation, I was at like 355, 358. So I was already doing good. And then, sleep studies too. I had to do 2 sleep studies.
In case you were wondering, I'm getting uploaded to a online server to live the rest of my days. So peace out, you know what I'm saying? Peace out. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez, yeah.
Which also gave me the best sleep of my life that I can ever. I don't want to have a CPAP machine, but at the same time, like those things, I can't even explain it.
My brother has one.
You never did a sleep study, did you?
No, I didn't have to do any of that extra
you didn't have to do any of that. So, yeah, I don't know if you've ever not done a sleep study, but if you are able to do a sleep study, your insurance can do it, just do it. Because I tell you what, when you wake up, you feel like a whole new person. You're like, whoa, I'm awake for the first time, So I had to do 2 of those. Yeah, and so I had to, go in for the checkups or whatever to make sure I was doing all these certain things and hitting the requirements. And then basically I had to sit around and wait for my surgery date. So I had to, I think it was like late July. They called me and they're like, oh, your surgery date is going to be September 6th. Or it might have been August, sorry. As soon as I got that call, I was scared out of my pants. I'm trying not to swear, but I was scared. Like, I was like, oh crap, like, oh, it's coming. Like, now it's like coming, So
I remember you talking to me about it, and you were like, they might move it up earlier than that, and you were like, because you were like, they said this time, but they said it might be earlier, and then it ended up being September, and you're like, because you were thinking it was going to be October.
Yeah. They weren't very.
Oh, it's September. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, they weren't very certain with like what the time frame was. But I found out my date, and then I had to do the 2-week thing, the 2-week liquid diet. So I was doing like shakes. It was super hard, and I know I didn't fully commit to it. Like I had small meals here and there, but so they told me to do the liquid diet for the 2 weeks, and then like 2 days before have like your last meal, and they were like, just go to town. So apparently they wanted you to like I might be wrong because it was a while ago, but they wanted me to get my stomach to capacity and then shrink it back down so it kind of like, fluctuated. So that way it'd be easier to cut, I guess, because it'd be bigger. So after I gorged myself, which I had all you can eat sushi, the way to go.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And,
we can talk about that later. Different time.
Oh, we'll talk about it. But, the 2 nights before I did that, and then I had a fast for 24 hours, and then the next morning go. And then, yeah, so when I went in there, it was weird because this is probably the calmest I've ever been in my life for anything that I would do. Like, I've been in weird situations all the time. I've, played music in front of people, like, always nervous. This, I was like, I'm ready. So they checked me in, they got me in a room, I had to change it down, got on a bed, spoke to the doctor when they were giving me anesthesia.
Some anesthesia. Anesthesia.
So they did the countdown on me, and then when I woke up, it was like I was underwater or something for like hours. So I remember waking up and being like,
Yeah, you feel like super like groggy and like it's almost
it was I felt like I was like there was just a ton of like pressure on me. But then what I remembered is the nurse giving me a cup of ice. She's like, start chewing it. So I started chewing it and I started burping like quick. So burping up all the gas they do to expand the stomach, because they expand your stomach with gas in order to get in there like easily and quick or whatever through the incisions. So you got one incision they got the thing going in through the stomach. One incision is the camera, another incision is where they pull your stomach out, and I want to know if they dangled it in front of me or like threw it away.
Used to have.
I asked if they could put it in a jar. I was like, it's my stomach, but I guess they can't. And I only spent one overnight stay. I stayed that night. They gave me chicken broth, Crystal Light, water. I could only drink like 2 to 4 ounces at a time, like a sip. Remember they gave you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, oh, I'm full. And I walked around for like an hour, came back, and I went home. And then you guys saw me because we were living together at the time, and yeah, that was the surgery. I was done.
Yeah, yours was, I think, partly because they probably had better tools too. Like, I had to stay however many nights because they wanted to make sure that we got all the gas out, where you were like, right after you woke up, you were able to burp. So like, I think there's a difference there where they're like, we got to make sure you're going to be okay. Right.
Yeah. So basically the surgery, like we said, 80% of the stomach is out. The 20% that's left over is like a banana, like you said, from a watermelon to a banana. So it's a sleeve, like a banana sleeve, like a little, that's what it's called. And it's a vertical sleeve because I guess basically like that in our bodies.
Yeah, like
instead of being.
Yeah.
So.
When a lot of people get it mixed up with like the gastric bypass.
Yeah. So bypass.
They take your throat and attach it to your like intestine, basically.
Esophagus. They don't take your throat.
Esophagus.
Yeah, they take your throat and smash it straight to.
Straight down.
So yeah, instead of getting like, instead of getting wild and getting, 3 rounds of that all you can eat, we're content with like 1 or 2 chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I remember going to sushi with you after my surgery, but before yours.
Yeah, and you had like
all you can eat.
One half roll?
Yeah, like half a roll that I ate over the span of like a couple hours. Slowly.
2 hours, yeah.
And you guys were just like looking at me like, are you kidding? I was like, dude, no, that's it. Like,
yeah.
I was like, all you can eat is a waste of money now, which is kind of sad because I loved going. It was just like,
yeah, honestly, people were telling me that I was going to save so much money, especially people at Home Depot that were telling me, but I was spending just as much money because in my head I was like, well, it's not worth it to get this much if I can get all you can eat and still like manage like to get up to that much. I guess now, because now obviously like my stomach's a little bit bigger because I know I can eat a little bit more than that. But anyway, we'll get into that another time. That's a whole another conversation. But the success rate of these surgeries, it's the safest out of all the bariatric diets.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the best success rate. You're dieting, you're losing the weight before surgery, doing all your appointments, at least here in the States. If you choose to do what Jaron did, that's fine too. I mean, just be careful.
Yeah. I mean, it may have changed down there now. I never kept up with it, so it may be totally different from my experience. That was years ago.
Yeah, sure. Yours was 4 years ago. Mine was 3 years ago. So no, mine was two and some months ago. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was some time ago already. So yeah, it's just that's what it was for us, and people are still doing it. I'll put some info down here in the box below, but I didn't really I'm not keeping up with it. I still have I'm in various bariatric groups on Facebook too, and I read a lot of people's stories and stuff like that. It's cool, and I'll add 2 cents in sometimes, but it's still going on. I went through Las Vegas bariatrics here, and they were great, super nice, great people. I had switched jobs, so my insurance changed, so I couldn't see them anymore. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But
and that was the thing too, is you were lucky with your job that you had, that you were able to do it with your insurance, because I remember that being one of the things I was trying to figure out before I went down to T1. I was like, well, can I just do it with my insurance here?
Right.
It's going to cost the same. And then finding out that they're like, oh no, it's a cosmetic thing, so no.
Well, that and there's that. I don't know exactly if this is true, the legality of this, but if you do it outside of the country, you can only go get it fixed outside the country if anything botches it or anything bad happens. So if you do it in the States and you have insurance, at least if something bad happens, you're still covered and you're able to fix it here instead of going back out of the country again. But the pros and cons of it is safety versus price. Even though you have insurance, you're probably going to still be paying more than you would if you go to fix it. Not advising it, I'm just saying you have the option. Don't take our words for it. But
well, I think that was one of the things that kind of made me okay with it, because my sister's people that she worked with are the ones that kind of recommended it to us, and they had all done it, and there had been a bunch of people that had done it before that she knew that had positive experiences with it. So when we went to go do it, it was just I was like, all right, at least I'm not going into this blind, not knowing anyone that's done it before, and then I'm just I hope it works out,
Yeah. Me, I had my friend Christy, who actually recommended Las Vegas Bariatrics,
right.
And a couple people I worked with at Home Depot. They had a couple different doctors, and then I think one of them also went through the same one I went through. So yeah, that was an experience. That was my first surgery ever in my life, I think. I know I had accidents when I was a kid, but I don't remember. But
I had one other with my arm or something like that.
Oh yeah, I was there for that.
And my nose, because it was broken on the inside.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
About that one.
Yeah. So yeah, this episode was about the surgery and some, facts, I guess, or experiences. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, you can always ask me in the comments, and I'm sure Jan will jump in on the comments too. We're more than open to talk about it or give more insight on it, or even compare experiences with other people that have it. That's what it is. It's cool to talk about it. It's cool that me and him have each other to talk about it, or we know what each other's feeling when we're doing, when we're eating or anything like that. Dude, I tried this, but I couldn't eat so much. I want it more for the taste. I want a bite of Popeyes just for the taste more than I want the chicken.
Dude, I was thinking about KFC today, honestly.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Just some mashed potatoes, man. Oh
God. Jaron's probably going to join me for a couple more episodes, because I think it's good to have 2 perspectives on a lot of these things. So since we talked about the surgery in this episode, we are going to talk about the recovery process in the next.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Jaron. Peace out, y'all.
Stay cute.
All right, you guys. Thank you for watching part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed both parts.
Again, like this video, subscribe. Info will be in the box. We're open for support for any other VSGs or, any questions, or even if you want to argue about something, bring it on. We probably won't even argue back. We'll probably just ignore it. But hey, you got it off your chest, right? It's all good. But thank you guys for watching. Episode 3, hopefully by next week. Laters. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Why am I drumming?